Haskellers, welcome again to my tutorial. Today we're going to see how to talk to Elasticsearch in Haskell with the Servant client library. In the previous tutorial, we've seen how to get the data from the web into Haskell. Now, oftentimes the next step would be to dump that data into a database for further processing. Here we'll be using Elasticsearch as an example. Now let's see how to do that. The answer, of course, is to use the bulk API provided by Elasticsearch. What is interesting is that Elasticsearch has some very specific requirements on how that data should be sent to the server. So first of all, the bulk endpoint expects ND-JSON, newline delimited JSON. Here's a concrete example. The first line is the action name, index. The next line is the data itself, and then the next line is the index action, and then the data itself. So another requirement is that the final line of data must end with a new line character. So here you see you have to add a new line character here. And also you need to set the content type of the request header to application xnd-json. Okay, now let's see how to implement all this in Haskell Servant. First step is to create a Haskell data type. This is a trivial example showing here, but in real-world applications, the JSON structure could be quite complex. The next step is to create the API. This is quite straightforward, as explained already in my previous tutorial. So the first parameter says the index name, then the type name, the bulk endpoint, and then it says that we're sending xnd-json to the server, and we're sending as data a list of person data, and the method is post. So step 3 is the core of this tutorial. All the customization is done via the creation of MIME render instance of xnd-json. So basically what this does is to transform the Haskell data type into the correctly formatted string that the server expects. So here it says that we're sending a list of JSON data. In this example, it's a list of person. And we need to transform that list of person into a byte string. And that byte string should respect all the rules listed previously, explained in this slide, all these rules. So you see that this is a list of person, and then for each person, we encode it into a byte string with a JSON library encode, and then we need to put this string in the front and then a new line at the end. And after all this, we have to append a new line at the end of all that byte string. Okay, so what's explained here works for Elasticsearch. If tomorrow you see another web server, and surely they request a different type of rules on the data they expect, now you see how to do all the customization. So you create another MIME render instance for your data type, and then do all the customization in this part. That's it for. So as a summary, we now see that Servant speaks RESTful API. So use it wherever there is RESTful API. We've also learned how to make use of custom content type. So here's a list of references I find quite useful. Well, the first one is the source code for this tutorial. The second one is the official Servant tutorial. I've learned most of the stuff here from that tutorial. There's also a full-fledged Elasticsearch Haskell client called the Bloodhound. And lastly, there's a very interesting blog post on how to take advantage of customized content type. Okay guys, with that, see you next time. Enjoy!